this is a technique for the lateral elbow, for our tennis elbow or lateral epicondylalgia patients. It's based on a Mulligan principle of a lateral glide. And we've seen research on that show that we get very nice improvements in pain-free grip strength and in pressure pain thresholds around the elbow. And that's been reproduced by a number of researchers. We've also seen studies on various taping techniques, both a boxing technique as well as a lateral gliding technique in the past, showing similar improvements in pain-free grip strength and pressure pain thresholds. So this particular technique is a little bit different to the traditional Mulligan technique. This one is actually going to combine several of those things together. So we're going to start just medial, on the medial aspect of the forearm, and come and do a slight posterior force on the radial head, and then sweep around, and that allows us to get good purchase on the forearm to try to create some sort of lateral force into the system. If we do look at some of the studies on that, they've shown that it doesn't need to be really strong, about 1.9 newtons, which is really a relatively small force. So in many cases, a single layer of tape is probably sufficient. In this case, we're using a double layer, a power band. It depends on the size of the person, the forces they're going to be putting through, and so on. So we start with them in a supinated position. We're going to peel off, making sure we're not touching the glue. It can be a good idea, because we do have these superficial vessels here, to just apply a dressing first, just some Fixamol or Coverall, just to reduce the friction going through there and the likelihood of blisters occurring or irritation occurring. So anchor point with no tension. Peel off the backing paper enough to get around the arm. I'm going to come in now and create a bit of a posterior orientation here as I sweep around. I need to keep that tension on. Again, I'm not overly stretching the tape, but I'm just maintaining the tension. Now as I provide or apply a lateral glide, I need Nick here to keep his wing tucked in or his elbow tucked in and not let me push him laterally. And I can come in with my web space and I can create this lateral force into the system. Now if we just turn Nick around, as we do that, what we'll also see is we get this nice soft tissue offload or boxing. So we come to that anchor point, and what we'll see is as I let go, we can see here it boxes up all of that soft tissue, and then we apply our other anchor without any tension. Hold that very well, once again to maximize your adhesion. So now we end up with this soft tissue offload. Again, we've seen nice results in some of the research with McConnell boxing and similar techniques. We get this relatively circumferential component, which is similar to our traditional counterforce brace tennis elbow strap. And then we've got this laterally directed force into the system. We could even argue that we get a little bit of compression to create some force closure, or perhaps help stabilize that superior radio-ulnar joint if that's an issue as well. And what we also notice is when we relax, is it tends to have us hang off full extension. So we know in our classic tennis elbow that extended pronated position is the most sensitive. So this helps us stay off that a little bit as well. If necessary, you can apply a 3-inch or 7.5 centimetre cover strip to that, but it's not generally necessary. Go back and reevaluate your pain-free grip strength. We should see immediate improvements generally. If not, then it may be worth trying something else.